We are here with Luke Mills from Phoenix, Arizona. And Luke, what are your career sales now?
I just passed 300 grand.
300,000. That's pretty exciting. Good job.
Being a new rep, I started off with Wes Frank, and he knew how to manage me quite well. And my parents have actually had Cutco for like 26 years, and so I kind of grew up with the product, and I enjoyed that. And as a new rep, all I knew is that this was just the right place to be. I felt good about it, and I really knew that I wanted to grow myself. And I'd never sold anything before, which is probably why I wasn't that good when I started. But the thing was is that I knew that the product was awesome and the people were awesome, and I could see that turning into something in the long term. And I knew that Cutco was going to be the place that I would build my resume. And at this point, it's come full circle, and my resume is actually used nationally as the example now. And so I was definitely not the best. I started without a car. I started, riding a bike everywhere in 115-degree summer heat and borrowing cars just to make things happen, and selling over 16 grand my first spring, and then turning into an assistant manager, and just progressively just knowing that what's next.
And you were telling me that you have about a $400 average order when you're in the home with the customer?
Yes.
And a lot of times that's people that already own Cutco.
Absolutely. They already love it.
Okay, so they already own some, and then they spend another $400 or more with you. So what do you think makes a huge difference in your average order?
A huge difference just has to do with the fact that most people that already own Cutco, they only know like a small portion of what there is with Cutco, because just the way that I start and all reps start, they start with a neighbor family kit or to help someone out, or maybe their recommendation like a lot of people, and a new rep comes over and they do a demo, and they really only get to see what that rep has a conceptual understanding of. They don't get to see stuff like petite santoku sometimes, or veggie knife, or the big santoku. Part of it just has to do with the fact that that rep might not know exists, or it's just those reps sometimes don't even have those specific items with them, so customers can't see that. So when they've had a couple of years and they've originally purchased, sometimes not even to get the knives, but just to help out a rep, and then you go back over to their house, they've had that couple of years where their first purchase intention wasn't even for the knives, and now here they are years later, absolutely loving them. And it's just a really prime condition to work with the customers, particularly with upgrades, and because the new items that they don't even know about are going to be twice as good as the ones that they originally buy, so this can make their lives twice as better, twice as easy, and just a lot more efficient in the kitchen. So it just has a lot to do with the buying atmosphere that's created through them already having the product, as well as all the products that they don't even know about that Cutco has.
You love the gadgets. I mean, in addition to the other knives, but gadgets are big.
Gadgets are huge. I mean, gadgets could be, gifts for their kids. Someone ends up liking the pizza cutter and gets that for 4 of their kids. That's an extra, over 130 CPO right there. You get, a couple gadgets on an order, and that's going to automatically raise your average order, another 50, 60, sometimes 70 CPO. Not to mention, like, gadgets, even if you're not necessarily selling them, it's such a huge leverage for recommendations. It's such a huge leverage for, promoting, like, upgrades. I mean, you find one gadget that someone loves, the cheese knife, and I mean that's going to be your closing deal, where it's like, Miss Jones, like, if you just want to go ahead and do that upgrade today, and you really like the cheese knife, I can go ahead and throw that in for you for free.
And you're saying leverage, so leads, you could offer it for free to get more leads.
Absolutely.
You can offer it for free to upgrade their set or get however many pieces and get that for free and that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. What I do recommend is that, first of all, you get the Cutco. It's going to be a couple dollars, but you can go onto your Vector Connect and you can purchase things like the ice cream scoop, the garlic press at very discounted rates, and it's entirely worth it because you're investing in your business. And if you just sell 2 of any of these things, they've basically already paid for themselves. Not to mention however many you're going to sell with your time at Cutco, and then no matter what happens, you get to use it for your own kitchen forever. So I'm going to go a little bit quickly because I like to get really excited when I'm talking to customers about the gadgets. The thing is that you don't want to spend too much time on the gadgets because that's not the main thing. You're just using it as a leveraging tool. So it's very quick. So if you need to repeat this a couple times to yourself just to get some of my verbiage down, feel free to do so. But I'm going to kind of go at a normal, or what I would normally do. So when we get to the demo and you're doing like the shears with the customer, what I like to do is go, hey, Miss Jones, these have been around almost longer than the actual Cutco knives, and these are customers' Cutco favorites. The reason is, and you have a penny, and I drag it along there and you say, you hear that? That's a groove, so you actually can feel it. It's not sharp, and if it's not sharp, it can't go dull. And then you have those grooves in there, so nothing's going to fly out. They come apart because they're dishwasher safe. Isn't that awesome? In fact, all of the kitchen cutlery is dishwasher safe. So if your husband sticks it in there or anything like that, no need to get, no need for any other arguments. And then Miss Jones, have you ever heard the story of the ugly duckling? And she's like, yeah. And you're like, well, do you remember what it turns into? And she's like, a swan. And you're like, yeah, I'm going to take your ugly penny and I'm going to turn it into a beautiful swan. And they're like, oh, that's so cute. And you're like, yeah, I know. Anyway, so just kind of a fun thing. Then you hand it to them. Chicken and bones, broccoli and cauliflower, flower stems, even around the house. Rope, linoleum, construction paper, cardboard, even that hard plastic everything comes in. People love it. So here you go, Miss Jones. And before you know it, she's already sold on those. Anyway, further along in the demo, you get past like the kitchen knives, all that kind of stuff, and then after I talk about the homemaker set, which I don't talk about as a set, they already know what sets are coming in it because I promote all three of those before I even show the individual items, so that they are thinking about sets, not just which of these individual items they're going to pick out. So after I do the homemaker items, then I switch the page to the specialty tools, of which you'll see the delicate knife also comes in the gadget form too. That's why we're highlighting it. We don't call this the cheese knife. Cutco calls this the cheese knife. Reps call this the delicate knife. For anything soft, sticky, or starchy, tomatoes, kiwis, lemons, limes, even blocks of cheese. The holes actually make it so it doesn't stick to any of the starchy stuff, and it's the micro Cutco edge. It's the sharpest knife that we make. You're going to love this, Miss Jones. And of course, if this isn't part of the lingo, but if you have them even cut like a block of cheese or compare like any of their knives cutting a potato and then use it with this, it's an automatic sale. So they love those things. Onto the gadgets. So after I've covered those things, I just say, hey, those are the set options that you have, and those are what comes in there. But real quick, all my customers love the gadgets. And on an appointment, I just talk about like, hey, this is the forever peeler. Customers love it. In fact, since it's Cutco guarantee, we could just send you new blades whenever you need them. The handles are the same stuff as like scuba diver suits, so if it ever gets wet, it gets tacky. This is customers love this because it'll stay sharp for like at least 5 years. It goes forwards, backwards. We do carrot peeling contests in our office. The fastest is like the whole carrot in under a second. You're gonna love that. So they try that out. The pizza cutter, it's never gonna cut you. It's all on the angle of the bevel, and it comes out for easy cleaning. My wife and I, we use the super shears for the pizza now. It's the craziest thing, but we use this on quesadillas, fajitas, pancakes, waffles, even cheese crisps. So you're gonna love that. Ice cream scoop. This is an Arizona favorite, Miss Jones. You're gonna love this. Even if you guys don't eat that much ice cream, it doesn't rotate and like wobble around. In fact, if you notice, angle it down. It doesn't even touch the countertop. So like your kids and stuff, there's not gonna be an ice cream stain in the morning. You take an ice cube and you put it right here, and then you put an ice cube here. It melts it 3 times faster because Miss Jones, and if you have an ice cube, it works really well. Because this has a really low freezing point, so that you don't have to microwave your ice cream, you don't have to dip this in warm water. And the best part is, it doesn't have antifreeze, that chemical nasty stuff that gets you sick, so it's 100% dishwasher safe too. And then the garlic press, this is a customer favorite because it has one of the largest bowls that you'll find in any garlic presses. You could put up to 5 cloves of garlic. And Miss Jones, you guys have any drinks or festivities at all? Yeah, this more often than not ends up in my dad's bar set, because you put a key lime in here, squeeze over your fish tacos, over your mixed drinks. My mom, she can actually put ginger in here. Anyway, instead of having to use a toothpick to clean it out, or a detachable cleaner, we have it right on there. So you just rinse under water, super easy cleaning, triple reinforced, backed by the Cutco Forever Guarantee. And this way, you don't just have the right knives in the kitchen, you have the right tools. And now you're working on a kitchen that's guaranteed forever and made in America. Wouldn't that just be nice, Miss Jones? What I love about being an FSM is that this spring I will finish my biggest campaign I've ever had around classes, because I am a full-time student, is about $42,000, and I'm planning on finishing this campaign at over $50,000 while having a full-time schedule of classes, and I've been able to take a week-long vacation every month this spring, while also being entering into my new marriage from last October, so being newlyweds as well too, and being able to balance all those things and my social life and my fun and my family and just living a really balanced lifestyle is what's been created through my FSM opportunity.